Okay, how well did you take care of your inner peace this year? Because it's all about self love. And we have had a great year at Empowered by Her Picket Fence. And we're going to close strong with 3 questions to ask yourself to make sure you are on track. Get in here. And I want you to keep listening because later on, I'm going to tell you what I learned about myself as a single woman this year. So let's get into it. All right. So this year was very fast paced, a lot going on in a lot of different areas. But the question I want you to ask yourself is, where were your personal struggles and how did you deal with them? What really stands out to you? Was it more work related or was it stuff going on in your personal life? How did you handle the issues? A lot of times things just happen to us, but we're either putting it to the side and not really dealing with it or just kind of figuring it out as we go along. But that's what self-love is about. So when things happen, you want to definitely say, okay, well, how did I take care of myself once I arrived at a solution on how I was going to fix it? Another thing that's important is when something happened that wasn't really something we had planned or something that kind of set us back a little, a big part of self-love is being able to course correct. What could you have done differently and how will you change things in the future? We're not supposed to be perfect beings. We are flawed and we are prone to mistakes. By identifying our struggles and committing to address them differently in the future, that's active self-love. So my second question that I have for you guys to ask yourself is, did you spend enough time pouring into yourself? We're all stretched thin, right? But we have to create a little chunk of time where we're exploring our passions, we're spending time alone, and we're focused on growing as an individual. That's part of self-love too. So how much time did you spend pouring into yourself this year? Ask yourself that question. And if it wasn't enough, make space for it as you go into the new year, because that is important to your growth. And the third thing is, what do you want your new year to look like? What are your priorities? What are your boundaries? Who do you not want to let pass the gate? Is it the aunt that's always making comments? Is it the girlfriend that undermines you? Where do your boundaries need to be, stronger? Think about that. And also, what passions are you going to chase this year? That's a big one because a lot of times we have things that we love to do and we don't make any time for it, right? So think about your passions, your priorities, and your boundaries for the new year. And that when you do that, that's an active form of self-love. I have to say, living in New York, I'm always talking about how chaotic and a little bit crazy it is here, but it's very easy to get lost in your everyday life. And there are so many things like coming at you at once. I have had to actively make space for me to do the things that are important to me, to carve out time. And it didn't come automatically. It's something I had to grow into. But once I did, it really made a difference for me. So as promised, I'm going to tell you what I learned this year. I've been on a self-love journey basically forever and it just keeps going and I just try to keep growing. And what I definitely learned as a single woman this year that's helped me tremendously is that I don't need to date if I don't feel like it. That's right. I said it. I don't really feel like dating and I'm not going to right now. And it's all good. And if you feel that way, there's nothing wrong with you. You just don't feel like it. All good. So I actually gave myself permission not to date and it feels great. Join me over here. It's all good over here. Trust me. Second thing I've learned is that I am right where I need to be. It's all good. Wherever you are right now is where you need to be. So we just need to be and embrace our journey and where we are right now because that's all there is. And that's what's important, just being present. And the third thing I learned, which I think is one of the most important things, is that I don't have to stick around for toxicity. I don't. I can opt out and I can live my life. And it doesn't mean that I have to exile that person forever where they're over there and I'm over here. But it just means for right now, I'm just doing my own thing and it's okay. So you know what? If the situation is toxic, you can opt out. You know what? There's nothing wrong with it. You don't have to feel guilty. You just have to do your own thing. And that's what I learned this year. And it has been invaluable. So on that note, we are closing strong, empowered by Her Picket Fence. If you love it, share it. All right, guys, meet me right back here next week. And don't forget to hit that follow button and leave a review. And tell all your friends because the single girls just got the mic.